with this dive goats, monkey goats, whatever you want to call it. All kinds of wonderful words for it. Angry Titans, on the other hand, something a bit different. It seems to be their flavour they're bringing to the map. May going to be rolling out with, I imagine, for the check at the top first. He'll go back and change things out.
Yeah, only God just instantly throws a flashbang up there and he drops back down. So
I imagine these players have been tortured in scrims by a Sombra being up there and hacking them and something bad happening, because every single team does that without fail.
They're just trying to feed information. They're hoping to catch a Sombra who's sticking around too long, who's trying to feed that information to the team. So they've been able to fight against that, running with traditional goats. Afox on that Zenyatta.
Nice
Luddy going to find Kara, so one man down already. Discord Orb is just sitting on Chubbs. He's getting pounded by Afox. There's not much he can do about it. Lolsish finds Spoxes. Afox kept alive by a nice protected barrier and some good shielding by the rest of his team.
Well,
Angry Titans clean wipe on Hanamura.
Well,
and they're going to take point A with less than 1 minute burned.
That was a bit of a wipe, I think we should probably say. We have all lost Kara super early on. That meant they lost all the wind in their sails, was removed, no more speed boost for them, no AoE healing. Then they decided firing out those orbs. Discord Orb on the main tank, he died down pretty fast as well. Angry Titans barely had any resistance in all of that.
Nice reposition off the bridge, trying to catch a member of Angry Titans off guard as they transition to the point. Unable to do so, so they're going to have this tank war now, hiding behind the shields, getting these high-end Zarya's into play. Only got about to get that ultimate back up again, and they've already eliminated Chubbs and Spoxes before the fights really got into full swing. They're seeing a Transcendence from Kanga, burning more time as progress starting to tick up for Angry Titans. 1/3. We're looking for the second guard in the spawn room. They've got that Graviton Surge to keep them from going in. Pulls them on the edge. I believe one person got through. In fact, a couple did. And the 180 shatter for Krems to clean up with that triple self-destruct. Missed time on the Graviton Surge cost Angry Titans dearly. They've lost this fight. 79% on the board.
Lolsish, buddy, where was the shield? Didn't put his shield up to keep his teammates alive. They lost 3. We have Org are gifted a second chance, but Angry Titans, they do have 2 out of 3 ticks. That means in one push, this could entirely go in their favor. It depends on what we have Org can do with that 2 ultimate bank they've got on their side. Sound Barrier for defensive purposes. Graviton Surge, you could argue, maybe for defensive purposes, but more likely to be used in a wipe scenario.
Going to force the high ground now. Not going to brute force main entrance like they did on their previous attempt. They want to take this high ground and force We Have Org to concede it. Play around it. They've emerged very fast, and Kanga's just been picked off by a pin. Graviton Surge keeps them there, locks them at the top of the stairs. Sound Barrier stops anyone falling for prey to that aggression. Twirls. He's got nothing to protect himself with that grab down. He's going to go. Lolsish taking him out. Illivoke, Chubb, Urki on the Spoxes. And they're sitting on the point. Only one contesting. They're going to get him off. Rocket Flare Whip should do the trick. Kara going down. Krems being D-maxed and then taken out. The Doomfist is 12. Buy more time. Locked up, stunned up. Discord Orb. More interruption coming in. Hammond gets the Prowl Driver on the point. He's going to be taken out by Afox. So, delayed. Wasn't a seamless A to B fight. They get it in the second attempt on point B.
We have Org really, really slow to react when it became incredibly clear what Angry Titans were trying to do. They just ignored the front line, steamrolled past them and killed the Zen. Funneled all the way down the stairs as well. I was just like, how on earth have they been allowed to get away with this? The Graviton Surge came out by the time he was already dead. It should have been fired as they actually rushed through the gate itself. Whether that meant you have to stun the Diva out to block the defense matrix or whatever, it should have been there in response to keep the Zen alive, because that was a straight roll by Angry Titans.
They did a nice little bit of play from We Have Org to break that initial offense. And we got to 80%. The Graviton Surge from OwnGold came out to try and lock some members as they came out the spawn room. But having that Reinhardt get through with the charge, 180, slam down the hammer. And of course, Krems slotting that self-destruct into the point, getting a triple kill. Won it for We Have Org and kept him in the game. But Angry Titans still walking away with a 5-minute, 2-second time bank. That's impressive for Hanamura.
Definitely can't complain about that. And if they hadn't messed up and let Krems get the triple, it would have been a very different story, more towards 6.5 minutes potentially. But let's see how they fare on their defense. They're rolling out with the same setup as what we just saw We Have Org go for, except what they've done is change the Winston out for the Reinhardt to go for that more standard 3-3 setup. It does mean that you're a bit harder to counter. The reason why you want to take the Winston is so you do have that mobility in case you do see something more dive-based and you want to be able to get into the back line. They're going there for the cheesy kind of in the shop strat we keep seeing a few times, where you basically force your way out of this side door and go for a fight.
It wouldn't be Angry Titans if they weren't taking the fight to We Have Org straight away. Going for the spy check. spotted out where Elevate was. I don't think they know to check here. No, Twirls knows to look, and they're going to emerge out. Oh, look how low Spoxes went in that engagement, but he's going to fall back. Angry Titans hold an aggressive position beyond the gate. They can fall back and play around this choke for a more advantageous setup. Get some initial ult charge in the engagement. Like I said, they nearly took out Spoxes. He's going to be healed up. Chubbs really dropping down as well. Going to push forward with the amp up. The Lucios are dancing around the gates, reaching new heights with the wall rides. And just it's a little bit of an ebb and flow to when these Lucios are playing around the gate, but ultimately Angry Titans are going to concede the ground. Chubb still walking forward, holding that shield nice and strong. Going to be taken out by Urki. He went to about half HP, and then they just hit the combo, finished him off. And Urki again with the shield bash from the Kara. That's We Have Org in full retreat.
Chubb's pushed a little bit too hard there while the rest of his team was still kind of gathering around him before they went for the big aggressive push forwards. Then when he got to half health, that was probably a sign of, okay, projected barrier's got to come out, we've got to get some healing from the Brigitte, we've got to pull back. They did none of those three things, and he just got absolutely decimated. That health went from like 280 to 0 in a flash.
Not much you've done about that one. Here's the rally. Oh, they're going fast with the shatter from Lolsish. Look at how they emerge. That's going to be a clean wipe on We Have Org. Completely caught off guard by Angry Titans, and gonna block out the D.Va, body block, take the shots, don't let him get mech back. Where are they? Show us what's going on.
97% you got to, then they killed him. That was nice.
Nice ult tracking.
Yeah, I suppose. Ult track the baby D.Va.
Yeah. Remech is classed as an ultimate.
That he landed 27 shots right there, therefore I know that right now he's at 96%, so now's the time to hit him.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone on Angry Titans knew that, though.
Yeah, probably going to be Ellie, to be honest.
You'll know. Graviton Surge, self-destruct over the top. Where's the shield bash to stun? They move out of the way. Huge bomb from Angry Titans. They're pulling out combo after combo after combo, and We Have Org starting to be pushed on the back foot.
But We Have Org doing the right thing. They're saying, look, we've been caught in this ult-rolling style from Angry Titans now. They won that first fight. They had ult advantage. We know we're going to lose. What can we do? We can just stack ults. Now, they did burn Spox's ultimate in that last fight. Not really ideal, but they've got 5 ults online to play with.
Oh, nice flip round. Doesn't get the block on the shatter, but will be there to protect his team afterwards. Graviton Surge, no one caught in it. Transcendence being used, not much engagement happening. Nice shatter, Lolsish moving around the shield to find multiple members hiding behind Chubbs. And they're going to get kills out of this one despite ults being committed by We Have Org. And Des, I know you're talking about they were happy to hold on to ults and go into it again. Up until then, it was a bit of a Doctor Strange scenario, right? They just keep losing and losing and losing. Eventually, they'll break through, right? They can just keep repeating the same scenario, but you commit ults, you break the chain.
Balls may as well have literally dropped that Graviton Surge out of his pocket rather than firing out of the gun. So he put it on the ground in front of him where no enemy team members were. That Graviton Surge was literally wasted. And Angry Titans not getting caught up, couldn't get comboed, managed to keep themselves alive, and now they're the ones with the ultimate advantage. Transcendence.
There is a Kara with the sound barrier. Chubb's being taken out before it goes on. Not going to be able to keep that main tank alive. Transcendence being used will win the fight out for Angry Titans despite having the main advantage already. Spoxes has gone down with the rally. He'll have it back up for the next engagement. What potentially could be the last engagement. There's only 25 seconds on the clock, and We Have Org is still being staggered out.
Absolutely horrific what Angry Titans are doing to We Have Org right here.
Cyberbullying comes to mind.
Yes, cyberbullying. There's not even a Genji on the field as well. It's just straight up bullying at this point, it feels like. Angry Titans, no ults online except for that self-destruct, mind you. They will be able to get the Earthshatter online very quickly if they need it, and then they go for that big game-ending combo, but We Have Org are burning everything they've got, and they're still dying.
That was big. He stunned up 12, so he had no chance of using his protective barrier to defend against that the self-destruct, sorry.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Lucio and Brigitte just bullying Orion by stunning him and booping him around the whole time. He can't touch them. Not that it matters.
They're not going to be able to touch the point either. Overtime's ticked down. Players aren't there. Go on, latch onto that bell, spin around as fast as you can, buy some time for your team's boxes. Kills still coming in. Quite handily for Angry Titans. Twirls, fire the Graviton Surge onto the point, but you're keeping your targets on the point that you're trying to contest for free. Only got all burned through him. There's Wrecking Ball again. Graviton Surge will pull him in. He's not allowed to have any fun today. Just got to take care of Kara, who's dancing around the rafters. Urki going to be the one to finish him off. Chubbs, not long for this world. Angry Titans, very dominant. Hanamura for a 3-0 and a series win.
An incredibly dominant series win at that as well. That was probably one of, if not the most dominant map performance we have seen in Contenders Season 3 so far. Like I say, if they hadn't messed up and got caught by 3 on their attack, that would have probably been the fastest attack we've seen. And that was, without a doubt, the most solid defense we've seen. Even when we have Org hit them with a 5 ult stack, they still had a response. There was no way of being able to get through. Admittedly, the Graviton Surge 12s, what are you doing, buddy? Wasn't really going to help you when it's fired into the ground, but they didn't manage to get any combos off. And ultimately, Angry Titans with quite literally a flawless map.
Yep, 2-0 scoreline on that map alone. 3-0 in the series. One more map to play. And only pride on the line for We Have Org. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, map number 4 coming your way. Welcome back to Overwatch, Contenders' final map of the day, and of course of Week 3. Angry Titans versus We Have Org, 3-0 victory so far. They've got the series win. Can they make it the clean sweep? We Have Org standing their way, and we're going to find out what that map pick is very shortly. But Des, do We Have Org really have a chance in this final map? Do you think it's a realistic probability that they come back and turn this into a 3-1? No?
A lot can't change in 4 minutes, I'll be completely honest with you. Unless there's some, I don't know, hyperbolic time chamber they can hop into, train for a few years, come back and beat Angry Titans. They're looking at the whole new meta by then. But as it stands, well, things are looking rough. Angry Titans have literally just walked through them, losing only one fight on both attack and defense. Everything else went their way, whether they were up on ults, down on ults, equal on ults. It just did not matter at all. And I expect this map to be a very, very similar story. Sadly for We Have Org, but Angry Titans looking incredibly in form. And I'm very interested to see what happens if they come up against some of the big teams in the future, because I know they've got 1 point next week, I believe it is.
1 point's a big opponent in this group, as we've seen from today.
Well, great time to be getting back in form. If they'd had 1 point today, I'd have been very concerned after last week. But, hey, we'll see. There is time.
A week still to go. And of course, week 4 isn't even the final week of the group stage. We have 5 weeks of group stage action. Take a quick break, and then we come back and talk about playoffs. But, Angry Titans on the defense first. Not holding as aggressively as we can see. Well, okay, now the Reinhardt's going to go and contest that payload. We have Org know to take the high ground and do the old switcheroo around the payload.
Now they come running out. They did have Symmetra at first, and I thought they'd be employing the teleportation strat we see quite a few teams use when you dance around all the different train rack areas. But Chubb's already getting bowled over. They've jumped straight in. AFOX in the backline uncontested as well. Just means this should be a pretty easy fight. Look at the criticals on the side of Angry Titans. There's a juggling act for the healers, and he's going to balance it perfectly. Gets them all up to high HP. We have Org still falling prey to this aggression from Angry Titans. But it's also a juggling act for the tanks as well, because especially with D.Va's mech size, for example, you can get in front and body block for a lot of your team. Zarya has her own personal barrier, which she likes to get in front of, take a bunch of fire, then retreat back into the team. They rotated things out really well there, and when things look really dire, you hold down right-click and bring up that Rhine shield.
They're going to push forward. Only God's already found Karos. Boxes being taken out by Urki, not being allowed out of the spawn room. This is exactly what Angry Titans want to achieve with this comp and with this method of play when it comes to Route 66. 1 minute already burned, free to go.
We have Org. It's definitely a struggle right now to even be able to get themselves on the payload. They can't clear them away. Only got a bit early on the personal barrier there. Does give them some opportunity to go for the push. It is on a 10-second cooldown, so you have plenty of time to act on that. But the shadow through the point catches them completely off guard.
That's a trick that always seems to work against Reinhardt's in this game. Just not holding up that shield. You can't have that clear vision against the payload. We'll take out Krems before he makes it back to the spawn room. 2 minutes 30 on the clock. We have Org yet to move the payload.
Feels like the kind of thing you'd be saying for the whole of the 4 minutes. Sadly here, Tridd, that is yet to really find the ground to go for the big engage. I'm looking here, nice idea trying to go through, but Chubbs gets caught out on the edge of it.
Well, he has a choice. He can look at the self-destruct and protect his team. He didn't do that. Him and Troll's both going to go down. Volsish finding 2 kills on top of that. So this iconic tank duo, we've already mentioned it before, picking up the frags off the back of a team effort.
And the juggling of these ults is fantastic. Even catching just one member there was enough to win them the fight. Now they've got both support ultimates online, so they can't be aggressive and shut down We Have Org before they go for a play, but they can certainly negate it and then push back from there.
Where they go, they're going for that play. There's self-destruct over the top. I think everyone's in a good position to hide. Urki's been dropped though. This is a window for We Have Org. If they don't lose anyone, they should be able to get the payload in motion.
Oh, Oni.
Oni God's going to drop down as well. This is certainly going to be the one fight for We Have Org. Angry Titans hold on to these ultimates, go back for a recontest. You burnt 1 minute 30, you're just stalling out for as much time as possible here. Payload's finally in motion, 1 minute 25 on the clock. They have plenty of fights left before checkpoint A is hit.
Goes to show that the gods can bleed. Urki getting a bit over-aggressive while that self-destruct was up in the sky. I think he expected his team to be out in the open with him still because they would have had the shield coming out of Lulsish. But Lulsish had other ideas. He was like, why risk getting stunned and dying here when I can just hide in the train and come back out afterwards? And that 5v6... yes, Angry Titans have been heavily outplaying We Have Org so far. Even in a 5v6, you should realistically lose that. Look how many ults We Have Org have got online there. They've got 5 to play with in this fight.
Shadow combo not going to land, but that's a nice capitalization by Chubbs. He's going to find Angry Titans after they tried to pull the trigger themselves. Krems comes in with the double kill. Try and make it work for We Have Org. Kanga going very low. He's got Only God in his face, so he's going to throw some orbs right back at him. AFOX out of nowhere blindsides Kanga. A little bit of robo-side taking place for Angry Titans, but We Have Org still on the warpath, and I don't think that checkpoint A challenge is going to be a problem for them.
They won't bother contesting this one. They're just going to let it come through. It's not worth running in to burn the ultimates they have got here to try and stop them. Otherwise, you find yourself at a huge disadvantage and risk getting pushed onto the 3rd point. But We Have Org, they've broken the chokehold that Angry Titans had around them, and now they can push forward onto 2nd point.
2 minutes 40, still remain. We Have Org. It's a sizable time bank. They can make it work and get the completion in. Got that Graviton Surge for Twirls and the self-destructor Krems. Big boy combo coming. Hang on a minute. Only God with the pathing catches them completely off guard. Kanga will get the armor pack to keep him in the game, but it's not able to be given over to Chubb, so he'll drop down. Lulsish getting that kill, and he still finds Kanga. So that armor pack all for nothing. Beautiful play by Only God to catch We Have Org off guard. Beautiful 2 minutes 10 remaining.
It was very smart fact taking the side path while the rest of the team was so focused on trying to get through the main choke. Admittedly risky, because your Zarya is no longer with your Ryan. If you get rushed by that Brigitte, you will get stunned and you will get shattered. Just turned out that We Have Org were a bit too scared.
Nice repositioning, going to trade self-destructs.
Oh, what?
How did that even happen?
Were they not behind the shield?
They weren't, no, they were into the blue building in front of the shield, and because it landed at an angle where it was in line with the payload, it then exposed them to line of sight.
And Chubbs wasn't playing so much for that. He was trying to make sure he was at least blocking what he could, rather stepping to the left and blocking the area where the supports were. So, unlucky, I guess.
TLDR, not Chubbs' fault.
Not at all. It's hard for that communication. Big shatter, though.
That definitely is Chubbs' fault. A huge shatter onto Angry Titans. Transcendence keeping them all alive. Chubbs being forced back to having to use Kanga's Transcendence as well. They've all got armor underneath those shields. Keep them topped up. Kanga now vulnerable. Nice shatter on the payload. Sound barrier now gets laid in instead. Nice cycling of support ultimates from We Have Org. And they're going to take this fight back to Lulsish. He's gone down again as We Have Org still fighting, but it's very slow progress on this second section. There's 1 minute remaining for We Have Org to get themselves some more time, and Angry Titans are winning this fight.
Even without Lulsish, they still managed to push forward as 5 and bring down a couple of key members to turn this fight completely back in their favor. And then they force We Have Org all the way back to spawn. Look, Onigot's going to go for the same play again by the looks of it. He's got that Graviton Surge online, just trying to bait the enemy team in.
Don't get fooled by it twice.
Yeah. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you, or something like that, right? Shame on you, then shame on me. Wrong way around. Either way, big shame.
I don't think there's anything shameful about We Have Org going into this and still fighting to win. Like, if they would have given up and just start trolling, then yeah, you'd call that shameful. But putting up a valiant effort, certainly not. Graviton Surge finds no one for Onigod. Swing and a miss for him. Not for We Have Org. They get their own in, and Lulsish is going to be taken down. Pushing back into this room. Afox finding 12, so they have traded tank for tank.
Run, Luddy,
Which one's more impactful? Luddy gets out. He has a Discord orb on him. They're unable to complete that kill. Payload's back in motion. We're going to have to do this one in overtime. Kanga goes down with Transcendence. That's huge for Angry Titans. They press forward on the offense. Self-destruct over the top. Nice stun there. Means Elivo is going to get that kill onto Chubbs. Not many options remaining for We Have Org. Being kept away from the payload. Overtime's going to tick down. Lucio sneaks by. Kara being the one to keep overtime going. He's going to have to dance around it a little bit more because there's not many members of his team remaining to stay on here. Finally going to pay him the attention he deserves. Kara goes down. Feed the meat shields. Stop We Have Org touching. Just shy of the halfway point of point B. Not a deep marker to hit for Angry Titans.
Got to give some credit to Afox as well. Welcome back to the lineup, buddy, because in both of those final fights, when Graviton Surges came out or the team got shattered, he had the Transcendence online. In the first one, on the first point, he did get shattered himself, so didn't have a chance to bring it out, then got immediately charged by the enemy Ryan, so regardless, he wasn't able to use it. On that second point, he was a lot smarter about it, got into better positions, most importantly, charged it up incredibly quickly in those fights as well. So again, big props to him there, making sure his team could survive those combos.
I wonder if We Have Org are going to be able to hold a similar standard of defense against Angry Titans when they hold that aggressive position and play around the very obscured vision from the spawn room that the train carts offer and burn a lot of Angry Titans' time back. Because I have a feeling that's the only way they win this map, is if they pull off that defense.
Yeah, and I was speaking to someone the other day about this, actually. You tend to stick Zarya inside the kind of diagonal train wreck, not the one against the wall, the one that's basically in front of the spawn, like you said, that big vision blocker. Because when she's in there, she is so difficult to kill. You have to commit mobility to get inside the train yourself and then bring her down. She's got personal barrier on herself. A D.Va can boop you out of the tunnel, and all the while you're being lasered and rained on down by ult fire from above. It's just a very solid position to defend, which is why so many teams these days go for that full hold. I remember back in the olden days when it was like, hold on top of garage, guys. We can contest from on top of garage.
It still happens in solo queue.
What a genius strat.
It still happens in solo queue, mate.
Yeah. It used to happen in a comp, and now it's a, let's go full hold, boys.
I mean, it is the new hotness, right?
I dig it. It's good.
Angry Titans going to emerge out of spawn. Traditional goats, mirror matchup. Angry Titans running into We Have Org's own composition. And that is that aggressive hold. Onigot's taking control of this high ground. He's going to start raining down his right clicks onto the back line. And also getting behind this shield. Chubbs going down. Yeah. They've already broken this initial chokehold that We Have Org set up for themselves. Not looking good, as their objective is to be burning this time.
I would have liked to have seen We Have Org put Krems up on the high ground there, because Oni just had a free run straight up the tunnel. sat at the top and just basically free fired down onto the back line, onto the supports behind that shield. And they were just like, well, what do? We're being pressed on by Reinhardt. We can't ignore him. There's a Zarya above. If we send out D.Va there now, we're going to lose and be under too much pressure. What do? They left it a bit too late to really set up for that defense, and by putting them all themselves in the low ground, they gave ever so much room to Angry Titans.
Speaking of buying room, Luddy, he's been cleared off the map by Kara. Everything's up for We Have Org a little bit, but no, Lolshus and Aafox going to turn it back on. Spox' Kara, they're going down.
Only got again
trading
on the high
2
ground.
for 1. Look, all I'm going to say is I've got some work that needs to be done in my garden, and I need my path redone. I'm going to get Only God to do it, because he's an expert at doing this.
Is that meant to be a reference to pathing?
Yes.
Stop. High ground king is what I want to call him. Because twice now, he keeps going for the bunny hopping the whole time.
Yeah, if you say that as he missed the high ground, unfortunately.
But last time there, literally, I watched him. He got up on the high ground in garage, looked for oh, there's the Zenyatta. Zzz. Okay, he's dead, guys. We can go now. And it was like, what? At least Kanga now has got his ultimate online, but there's 5 minutes to push. Maybe, what, 30 meters?
Yeah, and he's got Graviton Surge. Only God has got that for him. Aafox can answer the Transcendence of Kanga with a trans of his own. Here comes the self-destruct over the top for Krems in the middle of everything, and no one goes down except Kara. The charge from Lolsish finds him. Elivote then gets that self-destruct onto Twirls. They're still buying time contesting this point. But now, because they triggered checkpoint A, they're running back from their potential final spawn. There's a huge distance to cover. I don't know if they're going to get a coordinated defense. You can already see the D.Va and the Lucio coming out fast.
Well, Chubbs has only just respawned, so there's no way he makes it back here if he stays on this Ryan. They're going to have the rest of the team go for a fight, try not to get picked off, just so they can come back and contest.
He can't get there on natural duration. Shadow comes in, nice barriers to block it out. They're going to touch, but Krems is just going to be burned through. Kara's already gone down. Lucio is one of the high time-wasting sticking heroes, shall we say. He's able to jump around the point. Angry Titans securing the victory. 4-0 clean sweep.
A masterclass clean sweep, you might want to call it as well. Especially that second half, they showed a lot of skill that was missing last week. They've really showed that they're back to their previous form, that they are worthy of being called one of the top teams in Contenders. And I think after last week, a few of us said, well, it's hard to say that until we see them this week. After seeing this game, admittedly against one of the weaker teams in the group, again, no offense, We Have Org, but they've definitely shown that they've got this capability now to challenge for that top spot when the season comes to end.
I think people forget about relativity when we say weaker team in our groups, right? And
they've still gone through Open Division, through trials, they're still here.
Yeah, it's Contenders, guys. It's still pretty high level of play. We're going to throw it over to our desk, and they're going to give their thoughts in the second half of that series.